we're coming in here playing the Cubs right now. Obviously, they're pretty hot. So we just haven't put it all, the good pitching with the good hitting, or it's all kind of been vice versa. So yeah, I think this is a huge road trip. We're going to have to come out and play some good baseball if we want to get through this, and I guess make sitting in the rooms a little bit easier than not moving around. So yeah, it's going to be big. We're going to have to play some good baseball. We got some good teams and teams that we've already played. But yeah, this is a big road trip. We're definitely going to have to come out and play some good baseball. I think most guys have these video game systems, including myself. So we've got that to do. I mean, they just set up a little breakfast area for us at the hotel here. So that was nice to get outside and get a little food, and get out of the room. So other than that, nobody's really going to leave the room. And that's just I guess the price you got to pay if you want to kind of get through this season and finish this thing. So I've got that, maybe some FaceTime with the wife, and that's about it. Not much going on. Huge. At the time that I went down, it was right in the middle of the season. And then, we started making a run there in September, and we were getting pretty close to coming back and trying to make the playoffs. So I was looking forward to really getting back and just getting out there and pitching again, because you miss it when when you have to sit out for a month and a half. You realize how much it stinks being on the DL or IL. So it was huge for me and my sanity just to know that, hey, I'm healthy and I can go out and pitch again. So, and still be able to perform. And that was the tough part navigating, because the minor league season had ended. I didn't have anywhere to go throw. So it was like, hey, let's get right back into some big league action. And so getting through those 2 outings in September and then kind of waiting around to see what was going to happen for the playoffs, and then pitching in the playoffs and Washington, the wild card game was huge. And, just keep the confidence level up coming into this year, and just know that you can pitch in this league and figure out how to get hitters out. And, the biggest thing now is just the consistency of everything, just, making sure you're on top of location and, delivering everything like that and just sharpening things up. So, no, it was huge just coming off and being able to pitch well after an injury. There's not much thinking going on. I think most pitchers can attest to when they're going well, there's not much thinking going on with the delivery or whatever else is happening. You get the pitch, you see the target and you make the pitch, and there's not much other thinking going on as far as delivery and how quick my delivery is or whatever. But like I've mentioned, these last 2 starts have not, in my mind, been anything close to what I want to, get done. I know the White Sox, it was, through 6 innings and 2 runs, but I was not happy with my consistency and fastball location. And then, last start against the Reds was really, really did not make me happy as far as throwing 90 pitches in 4 innings. I don't think that'll make any starter happy. So I had to clean up a little thing, a couple things that I needed to address to help me be a little bit more consistent in the zone and be able to put the pitches where I need to. So hopefully that shows up tomorrow and they can get rolling. Yeah, you don't for me, I don't want to go too fast, because then that gets me a little off balance going down the mound. So there's a fine line in between being too slow and being too fast with my delivery. And another thing with the tempo is when you get the ball back, get on the mound and get ready to pitch. There's not much wasted time in between pitches of taking your time, getting them back on the mound and stuff like that. So that all comes into play. It's get the ball and try to work fast and be efficient. Oh, no doubt. Listen, Lauer's very good. There's no denying that. You saw it in spring training. You've seen it with Padres. With everything that's going on, everybody's kind of in a different spot. Eric had the COVID-related stuff before the season, so he kind of got started late. And, maybe that's just played a factor into kind of getting him going. The stuff's there. It's just getting the reps and getting the the time to be able to, put the pitches where you want to and just locate good. Because that's when at the major league level, you got to be able to, put pitches in good spots and keep hitters off balance. And when you catch too much of the plate, these guys are good, man. So it doesn't matter who's on the mound. If you're not moving in, out, up, down, and somewhat, hitting your spots, these guys can really hit. And especially with the lineup like Minnesota, who is really good, they punish you just a little bit more. But I think Eric's going to be fine. It's just about a little bit of, getting some confidence up, making some pitches, and he'll be just fine. I don't want to put words in people's mouths. I don't want to say what they're thinking. I haven't really talked to Eric about it, but of course, any baseball player, any competitor wants to come out and do well, regardless of the situation. He's just he's fighting through some things, and we're going to need him, and I have all the confidence that he'll be able to get it going and help us out, down the stretch. So I know he's frustrated. I know he's working his butt off to get better. So it's just, you got to come out and do it every day and come to the field and try to get better and work it out. It's tough. One, you got to know yourself, because you are your best pitching coach, your own self. That's the way I look at it. You really know what's going on with different things. And so for me, it's kind of taking a step back and looking at, okay, what's going wrong? What's allowing me to not perform? And it could be a lot of different factors or a couple different things. And you look at that, you identify it, you kind of just lose that ego in a way and say, hey, this is what I need to work on. And then you go and you hit that and try to get better at it. And then when results start showing up, then you start building a little confidence. And the next thing you know, you start taking off. So I can relate to it a little bit. And 18 of, coming up and doing a start. I remember in Colorado against the Rockies, and I think I gave up like 7 in like 4 innings or something. It's just one of them that you got to take it for what it is, see what I did wrong, and then go fix it. That's all you can do. So. They got a lot of power guys with a mix of guys that can get on. I know the first time when I faced them, seemed like their approach was a little bit different against me. They weren't trying to take big swings. They weren't trying to really drive the ball until they got in some good counts. I think that's a huge difference that I identified. And they were able to fight off some pitches that were some good pitches early on in the game that ran my pitch count up. So that's not going to take away from what I'm going to do tomorrow, of how I'm going to come at them. But I identified some of those things and that I can take into this next start. But yeah, they've got a good mix of left and right, and good mix of power guys, and a lot of them are pretty patient. So it's a tough lineup. I feel like every lineup in the big leagues is a tough lineup. There's no easy lineup. So it's just all about going out there and making pitches. Other than the fact that you can't really get outside, not much. I usually just hang out and I come to the field fairly early, I guess, and just kind of get settled in. And I think the big thing for me is just trying to keep your start day as normal as your other days. But then when it gets game time, or a little before game time, there's got to be that switch that's flipped. That's it's time to go. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just trying to keep the start day as normal as possible, because every player, every person on every team, there's always that lead up, that build up, that nervous energy, and that's normal. So it's about how you can control it. And so for me, it's just being the same guy every day until about an hour before the game, and then you can be a different guy. So that's the way I treat it. But no, nothing really changes that much from last year to this year, other than walking around the cities and stuff.